Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing fantastic. Today's the day and I'm so excited. Looking at the ingredients, you may be able to guess what I'm making today. I am making German Brezeln. And I finally have a KitchenAid stand mixer. I didn't buy one because those things are still way too expensive. It was given to me, or I should say lent is the right word I think. This thing has a dough hook and a few other attachments which I left in the cabinet. But here it is. And then for German Brezeln, you need lots of flour, butter, some salt. In this bag here is some sugar, some active dry yeast, and lots of baking soda. Because the original German recipe calls for a lye bath to give the Brezeln their nice brown crunchy color. I don't want to do that, it sounds kind of dangerous. Also it's not that easy to find lye really. So I'm doing a baking soda bath. And that does the same thing, gives the Brezeln their nice brown color, gives them a nice crunchy exterior. So here we are, today's Brezeln day. Let's get to the first step. First step, dissolve some yeast, actually 4.5 teaspoons of yeast in 1 cup of lukewarm water. I'm just going to put the 1 cup of lukewarm water right in here and mix in the yeast. Alright, the yeast is dissolving in the lukewarm water. I just used the same measuring spoon to mix it up. Next step is mixing 4 cups of flour with 2 teaspoons of salt. I'm going to do it in the mixing bowl for the stand mixer, so it's already in there. And then we're forming a well in the flour, like a little bit of an indent. Putting sugar in there, and then we're pouring the yeast mixture into that well and letting the whole thing stand for 15 minutes. Flour, salt and sugar are in the bowl. Now let's add the yeast and water mixture to this. Smells good. Okay, now I think the yeast, sugar, all that stuff have to react together. So I'm letting this just sit now for 15 minutes. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. You can clearly see that the yeast started to react and bubble up. And now it is time. First time for me to use this kind of machine to make my own Brezeln. Here are 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to throw those into the yeast flour mixture and then hook it up with the KitchenAid. Let it go for about 6 or 7 minutes. Now look at that. So the recipe said she had to add a little bit of water. I think I'll have to add a lot of water to this, just so it picks up all the dry ingredients. But hey, it's going. Haha, check this out. Looks like it picked up all the dry ingredients and it looks like it's going to be one ball of smooth dough. It's bouncing around a bit, but the dough looks fantastic. Alright, this is one beautiful piece of dough. Let's see if it's sticky. Nope, not sticky. A little bit moist perhaps, but fantastic. Now this has to rest for 30 minutes. I lined 2 baking sheets with some parchment paper. I don't quite know yet if I need all the space. The recipe I picked makes 12 Brezeln. Maybe I'll make 10, maybe I'll make one or 2 more. We shall see. I have them ready for if I need them. Look at this guy. Still resting another 28 minutes or so. Wow, look at that. It is so big. Wow, it is so fluffy. Okay, let me take this to my clean surface. It's just my counter, but the recipe says you shouldn't need to flour the surface. So let's tip this out. Look at that. Look how beautiful it is. It's all sticky on the surface here. Uh-oh. Well, now the recipe asks that I cut this into 12 equal pieces and then form the brezeln. So let me do that. I'm starting with just cutting this thing 12 equal pieces. Okay, cut them into 13 pieces. Use the knife, you can use your hands, you can use a plastic spatula. I may have to combine those into one because that came out a little small. I don't know if I can form this into a pretzel shape. But let's go ahead and start forming the brezeln. Put them on a sheet with parchment paper. So I'm going to go ahead and combine these two. They're just kind of small. Combine them into one. Now it's working them out real long and thin. Don't get too warm or the dough will break. So the challenge to make a really long, thin loaf of dough. Try your best to bring it out from the center. Dripping a little bit. Let's go over to the baking sheet. And see if we can sling together brezeln. Just to make a U, we cross them and squish them down. So the dough has to be a lot thinner, so there's more of a gap. This is the first one, this is the tester. So I'm going to leave this. Try to pull it apart a little bit. Kind of looks like a pretzel, looks more like a squished face. But on to the next. Okay, this one's much better. You can see this is much more of a thin, skinny noodle. U shape, cross them. Yeah! Alright, this one is much better. So it has to be a lot thinner. You push them together a little bit like so. And it looks like a pretzel a lot more. I could try to make this part here a lot thicker, so that kind of stays a bit doughy and this gets really crunchy. But I'm an amateur. Let's do this 10 more times. Okay, those now go into the fridge also, so they can form a nice little crust on the outside. They will be in there for about an hour, and then we will dip them in the baking soda bath. Alright, brezeln have been in the fridge for about an hour. Time to get the oven to preheat. Let's put it to 400. 400. Next up, bring a big pot of water to a boil, which I will then drop in half a cup of baking soda for the baking soda bath to give my brezeln a nice little crust. Here's my big bag of baking soda from Costco. I only have a quarter cup measuring cup, so I'll use 2 of those. The recipe says it will bubble furiously once the baking soda hits the boiling water, so I'll just be very careful. Brezeln are out of the fridge and they feel a bit more hardened to the touch. So I'm excited how they turn out this time. Okay, the water is steaming and sufficiently bubbling. I have a slotted spoon ready to lift up the brezeln and put them in there. I have my baking soda. Let's get the first scoop out of here. Back over here. Let's see what happens. Ooh, bubbly. Yeah. Do another one of those. Should be okay. I want to get hot water on my hands. Yeah. Nothing much is happening here. Just bubbling. In the meantime, okay, they've all been dipped, salted. Now it's time to put them in the oven for about 20 minutes. In you go. Close the shut. See you in 20 minutes. Okay, it smells really good. I'm a curious boy, so I'm gonna have a look. Wow, look at those. I'm gonna have to switch them around. Put the bottom ones in the top. So the 20-minute baking time is up. They're still kind of pale. Not quite as brown and crunchy yet as I want them. The oven is at slightly over 400. So I'll just leave them in there for another few minutes. Okay, brezeln have been in there for well over half an hour. So turn this off. Turn the oven light off. Get them out. I don't think they'll get any browner. They'll just burn. Oh my god, look at those beauties. The whole house smells like brezeln. They came out amazing. This one is the darkest. And here's a few lighter colored ones. Overall, they look fantastic. Some of the salt stuck on too. Nice. I'm gonna run to the store really quick now to get some condiments that you can traditionally eat with your brezeln. Be back in a second. Okay, back from the store. Picked 2 of my beautiful brezeln and I'm going to eat them now. 2 of the ways I love having fresh brezeln with is butter and honey and spicy brown mustard. You can eat brezeln in a million different ways. You can have them with cheese or ham, butter and jams. You can dip them in your coffee, eat them straight up too. That's what I'll do first now. Brezel straight up. Okay, here we go. First try. Oh yeah, that's good, yeah. Came out really great. Okay, put a little dab of mustard down. Dip, 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 dip. Dip. Oh, baby. Yummy. Okay. Do that again. So for the one with the butter and the honey, you can cut the brezel open like this, so you have a lid on the bottom. Put some butter, put some honey. Don't be cheap with the butter or the honey. This is not a healthy snack. Then you close it up. I think I put everything on the, yeah, I used the lid. Oh well. Let's go. It's like a sandwich. Oh my god, yes. Yup, that is very good. Gut gemacht, Alex. Gute Brezel hast du gebacken. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. So yeah, you can have them savory, you can have them sweet, you can have them with peanut butter, you can have them with Nutella. That is really good. Back in Germany, my dad used to go to the bakery in the morning on a Saturday and then come home with fresh, still warm Brezeln. And then we would have German breakfast. Eggs, Brezeln, jams, juice, fruit, coffee. Oh man, that's good. Anyway, thank you so very much for watching. This was my quick little Brezel making video. Here's the rest of them. I'm going to put them away now so they don't get stale and all hard. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like and subscribe. Share this with all your contacts. Stay tuned for more food videos. Stay tuned for more videos in general. Thanks again. I will see you in the next one.